Episode 6, The Bag. The image I cannot get out of my head is a bag. My husband's business bag. A lawyer walked out of a government office carrying it, and my husband never walked out behind her. I still think about that moment, the way the bag appeared first, the way the hallway behind her stayed empty. That was the moment I understood something had gone very wrong. I remember the building first. Not because it was beautiful. It wasn't. Not because it was dramatic. It wasn't that either. It was just one of those federal buildings that seems designed to make you feel smaller the longer you sit inside it. Sterile. Bright in the wrong way. Fluorescent lights humming overhead. The faint smell of cleaning chemicals and old paper. Not freezing, but cold in a way that had nothing to do with temperature. The kind of place where chairs feel temporary. And conversations never seem to belong to the people having them. That morning, everything about it felt political, legal, official. Like the building itself had already decided something about everyone walking through it. I didn't have the language for that feeling yet, but I remember sensing it. The night before, Adam's lawyer called. Her name was Tessa. Her voice was calm, confident. She told us where to go, what time to arrive, what documents to bring. She explained what the interview would look like. But the part I remember most was one sentence. He will not be detained. She said it like fact, not like hope, not like maybe, like fact. So I believed her. I really did. She told me she would be wearing a maroon blazer so we could find her. And from that one detail, my brain built an entire person. Maroon blazer, high stakes. In my mind, I pictured someone sharp, polished, severe in a reassuring way. The kind of person who walks into a room and makes everyone straighten up. Someone whose presence alone would make people careful. Instead, when we met Tessa, she had large bifocal glasses. Her hair looked rushed. She seemed slightly nervous, soft, not incompetent, not careless, just not the kind of person who makes a room go quiet. And when someone is defending your husband in front of the feds, you kind of want that effect. But she had reassured us he would not be detained. So I told myself it didn't matter. Honestly, that was the mood of the whole morning. Me quietly telling myself things did not matter. We met Amir inside the building, Adam's brother. He had flown in from Germany just to be there, just for that interview. He walked toward us with this huge smile, this easy warmth. The kind of person who makes people relax without trying. He hugged Adam, then me. And for a moment, it felt like we were not standing inside a federal building at all. Just 3 people greeting each other on a normal morning. We headed toward the interview office. But first, we had to go through security. And the security was serious. Belts off, bags sliding through scanners. Officers watching everything. Right before the checkpoint, I saw a framed photo on the wall. Donald Trump, Christine Nome. I just stared at it. It looked like a joke someone forgot to remove. The president mean-mugging the camera. Hanging in an immigration office like a warning. I remember thinking, this is embarrassing for all of us. Then one of the officers asked Amir a question. Very casually. Do you have a bomb on you? Just like that. No hesitation. No softness. And I felt the air shift. Because then they turned to me. And the tone changed completely. Warm, almost friendly. I am a white American woman. I knew exactly why. I knew. And I said nothing. And we kept moving. Even then, I thought everything would be okay. That's the part I keep returning to. I knew Adam was nervous. I could feel it. in the way he held my hand. But I believed we would walk out of that building together, like people leaving a long appointment. Relieved it was over. Already talking about dinner. I thought, this is procedural. I thought, how could my country not want someone like him? We got through security and into the office. And immediately, the vibe was off. The room looked like a 4th grade classroom. Flags everywhere. Bright posters. Color in places where color did not belong. It reminded me of Spanish class when I was a kid. There was a small issue with paperwork early on. I don't even remember the document. Just the feeling. My stomach dropped when someone mentioned the possibility of rescheduling. Looking back now, I wish they had rescheduled. Looking back, I wish we had left that building. But we didn't know the danger we were sitting inside. So we waited. And I held Adam's hand the whole time. Not because I needed to, or maybe I did. Mostly because I didn't want him to feel alone. I didn't want him to think I was scared. I remember this specific thought, almost word for word. What if something happens, and one day I look back, and I wasn't holding his hand, so I held it. Amir sat across from us. He showed me photos from family trips, trying to keep things light. Adam talked quietly with Tessa. Tessa kept smiling. Too friendly for my liking. I'm a feminist. Completely. But if I ever hired a lawyer, I want someone who makes the room tighten when they walk in. Someone who sends chills through people. That morning warmth felt useless. After a while, I needed to go to the bathroom, but I kept waiting because I had this strange thought that would not leave me alone. If I leave, what if they call him back while I am gone? What if I do not get to say goodbye? Finally, I couldn't wait anymore. I ran to the bathroom. 30 seconds, maybe less. When I came back, Adam and Tessa were standing. An officer stood by the door holding a clipboard. It's strange what your brain saves from a moment like that. Not the whole room, just pieces. The clipboard, the angle of the door, the way Adam was already starting to move. We kissed quickly. I said, I love you. I'll see you after. I'll be right here. Call me as soon as you're done. I've thought about that line 1,000 times since. I looked at the officer. Brief eye contact. Something felt wrong. My body knew it before my mind did. But I talked myself out of it. You should never talk yourself out of a gut feeling. I know that now. Amir took us upstairs. He bought donuts and coffee. We talked about careers, personality tests, future plans. I was nodding and answering, eating the donut. At some point, the coffee went cold. The donut wrapper sat crumpled on the table. I remember thinking, when this is over, we should get lunch somewhere. Then I remembered something about Adam. He wakes up before me most mornings, not because he has to, just because he likes quiet mornings. When he makes coffee, he pours my cup first. He sets it on the nightstand and says my name softly. Aspen. 4 hours later, my phone rang. A New Jersey number, not saved. And before I answered, I knew.
Hey, this is attorney Tessa.
Hi, Tessa. What's going on? She asked where we were.
We're right upstairs.
What is going on?
Adam has been detained.
What? You said that wouldn't happen. What do you mean? My voice sounded strange, thin, far away, as if I'm speaking underwater. Everything started to slow down around me. I could hear my heartbeats. I handed the phone to Amir. Language had left me. I hugged him because I was terrified, and there was nowhere else to put it. We went downstairs, and Tessa came through the door, carrying Adam's business bag. Without Adam. The bag appeared first, then the empty hallway behind her. My first reaction, and I'm not dressing this up, was that I wanted to beat her ass. But that would not get him back. So I swallowed it. The building was huge, windows everywhere, bright in a way that felt insulting. I texted my mom. I texted Anna, my best friend. They both called immediately. And when I answered, I started sobbing, not tearing up. Sobbing, right there in the lobby. For a moment, I had that instinct every woman has. Pull it together. Not here. Not in front of strangers. And then I didn't, because my country had just taken my person from me. Amir walked me to my car. The air outside felt wrong. I looked at my car and thought something simple. 2 people drove here. 2 people are supposed to leave. We reached the car. And then my phone rang. Unknown number. It was Adam. I started crying before I even said hello, because it was his voice, and he was somewhere I could not see. But he called, just like I asked him to. Love is such a quiet thing. It lives in ordinary mornings and half-finished conversations and coffee cups left on the table, until someone tries to take it from you. Then suddenly, it is the loudest thing in the world. My phone kept vibrating in my hand. Everything felt louder than it should have. The parking lot, cars passing, doors closing, my own breathing. My mom called first.
Aspen, slow down. Tell me what happened.
I tried to speak, but the words came out broken, like they had to fight their way through my throat. They took him. They took him. There was a long pause on the other end of the phone. Not silence exactly, just the sound of someone realizing the world had changed. She asked where he was. I didn't know. She asked what happens next. I didn't know that either. Everything suddenly felt like standing at the edge of a cliff. A few minutes later, another message came through on my phone. An email from the lawyers. I opened it without really thinking. It was an invoice. Thousands of dollars. A polite note explaining that if they were going to prepare a bond request and fight to get him out, I had to pay. I remember staring at the number on the screen, the absurdity of it. A few hours earlier, we had walked into a government building, believing we would walk back out together. Now my husband was somewhere I didn't know. My mother was on the phone trying to understand what had happened. And the first official document I received after his arrest was a bill. That was when it started to sink in. This wasn't going to be a moment. This was going to be a fight. And fights like this have invoices. Later that night, when I emptied the car, his business bag was still sitting on the passenger seat. The same bag Tessa handed to me in that lobby. I remember staring at it for a long time because the bag had made it out of the building, but Adam had not. If this story found you and some part of it stayed with you, send it to one person who would understand. That's how stories like this travel. And if you want to stay with us, follow Out of the Valley's Shadow, wherever you're listening. I'm Aspen. Thank you for being here.